coach of the month for the month of June is, no surprises, I'm sure, Steve McNamara of the Catalan Dragons. Had to be, of course, brought the Catalan Dragons up to the top and the summit of Super League. Played 4 in Super League, won 4, 150 points scored, 74 conceded. In the month of June, he has knocked off the Wigan Warriors, Hull KR, Lee, and also Hull FC. We put the Hull FC one in. I know it was the 1st of July, but every other fixture was played in June, so we've lumped that in to July, and we'll start from this week's fixtures for July. So yeah, Steve McNamara, of course, on a 7-game winning streak. Can't really argue with that, can we? Really?
Not the slightest. I'd have been surprised if it wasn't McNamara.
You'd have sat
there. Say again.
I'd have been sacked.
yes. You're out the door, sir. But no, I'd have been surprised if it wasn't McNamara. I mean, as I said right at the top of the show, I, for one, thought Catalan might struggle this year to finish in the top 6, given the comings and goings in the off season. But fair play. Recovered from the 2 defeats by Warrington. I've got to get that in there.
Whoa.
Hello.
Okay. Whoa. Steady on. Oh, hey, hello. Steady.
The good Lord was coming for me then.
Carry on. Somebody was coming for me. I shared the wrong stream by all accounts. So thank you to that. Somebody's just put that in the chat. I didn't spot it. So happy days. But yes, I mean, everybody pretty much in agreement that it had to be.
Easily.
McNamara, incredible performance from him. This month, Steph Sale, he's in agreement with it. I'm sure everybody else is in agreement with it. Well done to Steve McNamara. I think he's caught a lot of people by surprise this year with certainly the recruitment side of it, and how well they're playing. So
he does. He's one of those coaches that takes a lot of flack for some reason, Steve McNamara, and doesn't get talked about with maybe the respect he should, to be honest. So fair play to him.
Yeah, you're right, man.
He's not one of the. I'm sure he won't hunt me down and kill me for saying this, but he's not kind of one of the glamour coaches.
Yeah.
He's
out of sight, out of mind as well a lot of the time.
Well, he is. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Because I mean, they don't really. Again, we talked about the promotion and what the Catalan bring to the competition last week. They don't really do an awful lot to promote Catalan Super League. Really. You don't. I mean, over here, you tend to get the press conferences if you go on the different channels. And the other problem is, as well, a bit of a stumbling block for English fans is that all the press conferences are done in French, pretty much. Which again is
and they've got their own deal with French TV as well, which might be interesting when it comes to the new deal with DAZN getting involved. That could very well be a stumbling block as well, because the French like to keep their games to themselves, don't they?
You're absolutely spot on. Ladies and gentlemen, the official Super League Raw team of June. Here it comes. So there it is, the team of June. Some phenomenal performances from these players in the month of June. I actually, I think I put this out there on a post where we added it all together. You'll see that'll be on there tomorrow, where you added all these statistics together. But okay, let's start at fullback. Jack Wellsby, Greg, 3 tries in the month of June, 8 try assists, 18 tackle breaks, 4 clean breaks, and 375 meters. Simply superb.
Yeah, he's Mr. Consistent now, isn't he? He's kind of cementing his place in our team of the month each month these days, it seems to be. But yeah, a slow start to the season.
Wayne Stacey, just a quick shout out to Wayne. Wayne is actually a good lad, interrupting his holidays in Benidorm, and he's watching us this evening. Good man. Well done to you.
Good lad.
Right. Then we come to the winger, the first winger, Abbas Miski. Abbas Miski scored 5 tries in the month of June, 14 tackleables, 7 clean breaks, 57 carries for 428 metres. That's 7.5 metres a carry. Abbas Miski, extra year at Wigan, in great form.
Really pleased for him as well, because he's way down the pecking order, or he seemed to be way down the pecking order at the start of the season. So really made up for him. And tell you what, he can move. How do Wigan do it? How? Well, I know they do it. They've got a great recruitment policy, but they've got some great wingers at that club.
Yeah,
wingers who would be a massive success at any other Super League club.
Well, if they hadn't have exercised that year's option, he would have found a club very quickly.
Oh, definitely,
He's had
definitely
18 tries in 20 appearances, Abbas Miski for the Wigan Warriors. Quite a return, outstanding. Yeah. Right, well, this might surprise some. Artur Romano of the Catalan Dragons in. He's, of course, been in the team of the week last week, if you recall. 3 tries, 2 assists, 15 tackle busts, 3 clean breaks, 53 carries for 359 metres, 6.7 average from him. Romano keeping out Ikebabalu, probably the reason why he'll be off. Nobody can force him out. He's in great form.
And why not? If you've earned the right to wear the shirt, then you shouldn't be. You should keep it until somebody's ready to fill it. And great, made up for it again. Really pleased for him. He didn't start the season, did he? He came. I don't think he was there at the start of the season.
He's played wing a couple of times, but throughout June he has played centre.
Yeah, so probably his position now is centre. I don't think he is a winger.
He's going to take some shifting, mate. He's going to take some shifting.
Good on him.
In the second central role, Reece Martin, who again been playing centre, been a right bonus this one for Leeds this year, banging him in there. 3 tries, 1 assist from him, 18 tackle busts, 3 clean breaks, 67 carries for 595 metres, average 8.8 per carry, with 17 out of 21 goals and 80.9% conversion rate. Reece Martin's got his kicking boots back.
Yeah, he's been all right, hasn't he?
It was a bit dodgy, if you remember, at the start of the season. Was it Catalan?
Yeah, he couldn't hit a bound door from 5 yards at the start of the season. But
no,
he's missed a consistency. He's for a few seasons now. He's been a real solid signing for Leeds. Again, somebody who doesn't make the headlines, who tends to fly under the radar a little bit if you're outside of the Leeds bubble, but a great player. Scores some great tries as well, which people kind of overlook. But I like Reece Martin. I'm a big fan of Reece Martin's. I think he's a great player.
All I'm going to say to Kevin Worrell is yes to that. We won't be talking about it, but yes is the answer. Well, I'm having a look at here.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Do you want me to go?
No, not at all. Right, back in here. Where are we now? Oh, yes, we're on the second winger out with Tom Johnston.
Tom Johnston.
7 tries, 19 tackle busts, 4 clean breaks, 58 carries for 555 metres, 9.5 average for Tom Johnston. He's been absolutely sensational.
And just proves what he can do when he stays injury-free.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolute quality.
Obviously, the weather down in the south of France suits him, and he's on fire.
He's been phenomenal, mate. Yeah, showing his true quality. Another player who obviously is playing for a contract and has been absolutely outstanding in the month of June, Blake Austin. A try for Austin, 4 assists, 13 tackle breaks, 6 clean breaks, 70 carries for 498 metres, a halfback doing 7.1 average. That is outstanding stuff.
Yeah. When Blake Austin's in the mood, he's almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
The problem with Blake Austin is he's not always in the mood for it.
Correct. But he's at the moment.
That's been his downfall. But at the minute, he was always going to show up against Warrington.
Yeah,
he was always going to show up. And I was a big fan of Blake Austin when he first came to the club. And I'm genuinely glad to see him doing well. I think we should have been more patient with him. I really do.
Well, he's obviously put the cat amongst the pigeons with the Harrington full time. It'll be interesting to see how that one pans out. No surprises at scrum half. Lachlan Lamb, absolutely outstanding. 2 tries, 5 assists, 14 tackle breaks, 3 clean breaks, 58 carries in the month for 287 metres. Of course, that's not really his game, 4.9 average. But Lamb, when he gets his hands on the ball, things tend to happen. Yeah,
he's a classy halfback. He's an old-fashioned halfback. I've said before, he reminds me of an Andy Gregory or a Sean Edwards type of halfback. That's what genuinely what he reminds me of.
Yeah, the Andy Gregg, absolutely. He's that. He's got that. Yeah, he's that type of
that swagger.
Yeah. Greg was quality on it. Absolutely quality. Right. I mean, look, we're in the mix now. A lead out that middle quadrant there.
People will be accusing us of being the lead.
No, it is what it is. There was a couple of clubs on me. Paul Vaughan's had a good June. Don't get me wrong, he was close. So too, Alex Walmsley, he's had a good June. He was close, but there's no denying. Tom Amone, 1 assist in the month, 11 tackle breaks, 2 offloads, 60 carries for 475. That's down the middle, ladies and gentlemen. That isn't wingers and centres to forward. 475 metres, an average of 7.9, and had enough in the tank to do 90 tackles as well. Tom Amone, what a...
Yeah, he's a beat. Again, you can't argue with the stats.
No.
And he's a beast. It's
consistency. I mean, that's the thing about Team of Doom. It's about being consistent. I mean, you've got Morgan, you've got Wellesby, whoever's done the panel, have the professionalism to pick a fullback. Should not be up for negotiation. For me, it should be one player out of a team, because how can there be 2 players that are best for the month in one team? How can that happen? If you're going to do a short list. And then, in terms of, and that's where the Morgan Wellesby one on that just doesn't sit. Your point on Lamb, perfectly placed. I mean, where's Lamb? Pick Morgan or Wellesby. Lamb's got to be in there, and it has to be. But anyway, a man who was in there is Edwin Ipape. 3 tries, 24 tackle busts. Okay. 3 clean breaks, 3 offloads, only 37 carries, but 261 metres in them carries, 7 metre average, and 100 tackles. Other people of note in there. Parcells not been too bad, but to be fair, it was an absolute landslide for Ipape on that one. Yeah,
he's kind of, and again, I sound like a stuck record with this one, but I was racking my brains about who Edwin Ipape reminded me of, and it's Dwayne Mann, who used to play for Warrington a long time ago. Dwayne Mann, some people might remember him, but he's very, very similar to Dwayne Mann in that he can burst through a tackle, and he's evasive, and he offloads well, and he tackles well. And for me, Dwayne Mann's been probably one of the best hookers I've ever seen at Warrington. And that's who he reminds me of. He's that that low centre of gravity. He didn't start off so well.
It was good though.
People were saying he was disappointed, and was he living up to the hype? Well, he certainly lived up to it now. He's gradually improved over the season. I think he's been
he's getting stronger, mate.
Every game. If he carries on like this, God knows what he's going to be like towards the end of the season when it comes to playoffs. It's going to be unstoppable.
Unstoppable. I mean, Dwayne Mann, after Desi Drummond as a kid, he was my second favourite player. We used to love a bit of Dwayne Mann at World of Sport, I have to say. Great shout. Ian Judson's coming in for some pelters. He's got his black and white glasses on this evening. Ian, mate, as far as Jake Clifford's concerned, we only pick one scrum half. We don't do what other people do and put a standoff at scrum half and a scrum half at standoff. His stats and his performances do not compare to Lachlan Lamb. He was second, but Lamb pipped him. Simple as that. Savelio, I'm afraid to say, did not. Yeah, he's had a couple of good games, but he's not had 4 consistently good games. Hence the reason why Savelio isn't there. And Mr. Truman, no, Blake Austin was better, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I mean, Clifford is a good shout. Clifford
was second best.
He's had a good month, Clifford. Yeah. I'll give it.
He did.
I'll say, Clifford.
There could only be one winner, though, mate.
And in any other month, Clifford's performances would have probably put him there, but not this month. Yeah, unfortunately.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Then we come to Robbie Mulhern. Now, listen to these for a set of numbers, right? Robbie Mulhern, 2 tries, 12 tackle busts, 1 offload, 58 carries for 517 metres down the middle, an average of 8.9. I mean, we're talking Walmsley territory here.
Yeah.
He's beat Walmsley for it. Walmsley and Vaughan were good. Mulhern was by far and away better, and 126 tackles as well. I mean, that's just immense.
Yeah. And
absolutely immense.
Consider that props are usually spelled, so he's probably done that over 55 minutes rather than 80 minutes.
Yeah,
per game. Mate. That's phenomenal.
And then we come to the man who's bound probably for St. Helens. I mean, again, you talk about numbers. What a set of numbers these are, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Whitley, 4 tries, 3 assists, 14 tackle breaks, 4 clean breaks, 28 carries for 223 metres, which is an average of 7.9 and 87 tackles. Mr. Whitley, outstanding.
Yeah. And you know what? If he goes to Saints, they're going to have a frightening team again next season.
Yeah. Absolutely, mate.
A
I mean, that's a great acquisition if he is on his way there.
And again,
Number 12,
somebody else who started off slow. Slowly and has
started off slow, but has really had a good June, mate. Really,
and kind of, supports coaches' ideas that it's not how you start. It's this bit now in June and July and the beginning of August. This is where you consolidate your position in the league. This is where you put the performances in. And, when players like Whitley and Johnston and players like that you can understand how Catalan are top, because this is their consolidation period now.
Yeah, absolutely. Liam Farrell, keeping his place in the team month on month. Of a great June for Farrell. 2 tries, 4 tackle busts, 1 clean break, 59 carries for 378 metres, 6.4 average, and 131 tackles from him. Great effort.
Yep.
And then finally,
and again,
sorry,
go on. But again, and I'm sound like a stuck record. Started really slowly.
He did indeed.
He had a couple of poor games by his standards.
Yeah,
the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, and then
spot on. He's coming good again now.
The last 5 or 6 weeks, he's been phenomenal again.
Correct. And then the battle for loose forward. Last month it was Asiata. It was Cam Smith again. I think. My apologies. I think Cam Smith had it last month as well. Again, we do this fairly. No rose-tinted glasses here. We call it straight. We get a lot of analysis. We look at it. It's painstaking, and we 100% back this team. Anybody who wants to try and disprove it, give it your best shot. You're probably not going to be able to. Cameron Smith.
That's insult, mate.
But it's true.
I know it's true. I know.
Just about edged out John Asiata. And in third place, Ben Garcia. That's pretty much where the loose forwards were in the month of June. Cameron Smith, 1 try, 1 assist, 9 tackle breaks, 1 clean break, 66 carries for 402 metres and 121 tackles to boot. Another phenomenal month by Cameron Smith.
Yeah, had some great performances this month.
He has indeed. Yeah. Now, we are not the Albert Goldthorpe, and we are not the Man of Steel.
We should.
There's a lot of people out there showing a lot of love for the likes of Lachlan Lamb, for Edwin Ipape. But it's the forwards that win games. They can't do what they do if it ain't for the forwards. So you won't get this on any other show. We have got a forward as the player of June. Robbie Mulhern, take a bow. Absolutely sensational. It's about consistency. Reg, I'm just going to give you a couple of stats, mate, and then I'll bring you in. It's about consistency, ladies and gentlemen. So let me explain to you how consistent Mr. Mulhern has been. Against Wakefield, Robbie scored a try, 110 metres, 29 tackles. He then goes and plays Hull FC. Another 100-plus game, 132 metres, 37 tackles. He then goes to Catalan in defeat and does 111 metres and 38 tackles. And then he plays KR at the weekend. Get this, 164 metres from 14 played balls, 22 tackles, 6 tackle busts. He had 2 tackle busts against Wakefield, 3 against FC, and 1 against Catalan. Robbie Mulhern, unsung hero. Somebody said that in the chat. He has been, quite simply, devastating for Lee. And let me tell you, if you were to ask Lachlan Lamb, Ipape, Reynolds, O'Brien, Hardacre, any of them, I think every single one of them would support that decision. Over to you,
I disagree. A good job I'm not a betting man. But yeah, hats off. He had glimpses of this when he played for Warrington. But I'm made up for him. I had a lot of time for Robbie Mulhern. I thought if he'd have been given his chance, he would have been a good player.
Still is.
No, for Warrington.
For Warrington, yeah. I know what you mean.
Let me finish.
I know what I'm just winding you up.
I stopped then because I was watching 2 pigeons fighting. Not saying I'm bored, but
Steph, you're on next week.
Are we still on?
Carry on.
But where was I? Yeah, I think he wasn't given the chance to fulfill his potential at Waddington, and I'm glad he's doing it, Lee.
Well, let's put it this way. he was probably our best player last year, most consistent, I would say, last year. Not that he had much to beat, but there you go. I think him, Ashton, and Williams top 3 last year.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Robbie Mulhern.
Such a shame they couldn't come to an agreement.
Absolutely. Congratulations to him. Let's hope he continues on the same trajectory.